Good morning. Congress has been using our credit card to finance its out-of-control spending, and today we have to pay the bill. Next year is going to be even worse. That's the bad news. $3 trillion budget recently passed by the House of Representatives with Paul Hode's support. A $683 billion tax increase. That'll be the largest tax increase in history. The only one larger are those proposed by Senators Clinton and Obama. We don't have a revenue problem in Washington. We have a spending problem, and we need candidates who realize this. Today, I'm taking the Taxpayer Protection Pledge. I promise to do two things. First, I won't raise marginal income tax rates. I won't support any effort to do so. And secondly, I won't support any increase in taxes or decrease in deductions without an offsetting reduction elsewhere in the tax code. We do not need to increase the overall tax burden on the American family. On average, taxpayers now take an entire day to fill out their tax returns to send their own money to Washington. The average taxpayer spends $207. If you're self-employed, you pay $444 just for the privilege of paying your taxes. As individuals, we spend $28 million on tax preparation in this country. Corporations spend an additional $170 billion on a tax code that is too large, too complex, and a tax burden that is simply too high. We have some similar problems here at the State House in Concord. We don't have a revenue problem, we have a spending problem. And to talk about that, I'd like to welcome Ed Nail from the Coalition of New Hampshire Taxpayers.
That's great. Where do I start? The pledge. Maybe I'll start with the pledge. We've had some shenanigans going on here in the state of New Hampshire regarding the pledge, and I can tell you that the pledge that Grant Bosse is taking is the Americans for Tax Reform pledge that's picked up or managed here in New Hampshire by the Coalition of New Hampshire Taxpayers, I'm chairman of, and it actually was the product of the original Mel Thompson pledge, or even going back further than that, here in New Hampshire. As Grover Norquist from Americans for Tax Reform was growing up down in Massachusetts, he always admired our pledge and made it part of his Americans for Tax Reform platform down in D.C. And you know, as chairman of the Coalition of New Hampshire Taxpayers, I get to meet a lot of candidates. I know elected officials all over the state, and a lot of taxpayers don't have that opportunity to meet, know some of these people. I've known Grant since he was a young man. So what a lot of people fall back on is the pledge. They take it, we take it seriously, and it is, as he has said, there is a spending problem. Government seems to be unable to live on the continued growth in revenue that it receives every year in every state. It's very rare that we don't have growth in revenue, but they just outspend it time and time again, and they come up with new schemes to borrow and hide assets, earmarks, lobbyists, work down in D.C. Taxpayers have very little going for them except candidates will step up and pledge not to raise taxes. And we applaud Grant Bosse for doing that and for running for Congress in the 2nd District. Thank you very much, Grant.
Thank you, Ed. Thank you for being here. This November, we have a chance to make next April a little more friendly to New Hampshire taxpayers. That's why I'm running for Congress.